You know something, Magnusites? I've been playing my PS5 almost non-stop since I received it. And, I gotta say that, ray tracing don't mean shit! Okay? You know what? To me, ray tracing is just a tag word. Okay? Every generation, I believe, has had their tag words for promotions of these new systems. I don't remember what Atari's was, and I don't remember what Nintendo's was or the Sega Master Systems was. But I do remember that the Super Nintendo and Genesis were 16-bit. And then we had 32-bit and 64-bit. And different generations talked about polygons. And I remember when Super Nintendo came out, they had their Mode 7. You remember Mode 7? That was a cool feature. I loved the games when they had. As a kid, that got me. They said, "Oh, it got Mode 7. Oh, shit, I'm getting that one." You know what I mean? And I think that ray tracing is yet another tagline. I do not notice ray tracing. Maybe I just don't have a technical eye. But it's a very subtle difference. And I think that programmers have been doing a phenomenal job with showing light and how light reacts in video games up until now. I guess I just have an untrained eye. Because I can't notice shit unless I watch something like Digital Foundry and they're showing side by side and I'm like, oh, okay. Not that much difference. Yeah, it looks a little bit more realistic. It looks a little better. Okay. Ray tracing always looks better, but it never looks that much better to sacrifice 60 frames. Every time I switch Miles Morales from fidelity to performance or whatever they call their modes, I have to stick with performance. 60 frames is where it's at. The problem is emotion. You do not want to sacrifice the pure bliss of watching that 60 frames per second over it looking a little better. It's a pleasure to the eye to watch something in 60 frames. Now, Demon's Souls does not have ray tracing from what I understand. However, when you go from performance to cinematic, the point is that on both games, one has ray tracing, one doesn't. Where you have fidelity and you have cinematic, they're both modes that make it look better, but this sacrifices frame rates. And in each one, I prefer to 60 frames per second. So, I'm going to make you a deal. I ain't streaming no game on their cinematic mode or fidelity mode until they can do 60 frames per second. Until then, ray tracing ain't shit. 60 frames is where it is at. I mean, to me, there really is no comparison in the experience and how things move and how fluid things are. I am not dealing with these extra performance modes. These cinematic fidelity, their ray tracing or better looking modes, I'm not dealing with. Okay, I don't care. From now on, it's 60 frames. Thank you, PS5, for letting me see the difference and let me understand how truly great 60 frames per second is. No, I'm not becoming a PC gamer at all. Thank you. 10 million subscribers.